What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerd On Update, our weekly show in which we talk about the nerdy news that excited us, interest us, made us sad sometimes, and answer questions from you, the people. We don't introduce the host here. We just get right into it. We
That's
just
right, Josh.
slide right in. That's right, Tom. How about I'm talking, I'll just go. How about I
Okay.
just go? Last week, Corey and I have been mentioning that we are excited about a certain game that's coming out soon. Dying Light 2. Been excited about it since we went to E3 a couple of years. Oh, Jesus. 84 years ago, we went to E3 and they announced it. And we've gotten a chance to see demos of it and try it. And it looks so dope. I'm so excited, but more information has been coming out as it gets closer to the release date, which is February 4th, very, very soon. But they've been doing this series called Dying to Know, and the company's called Techland. They've been doing this series called Dying to Know, and it's just little tidbits, and it's just like episodes about, what kinds of reviews it's getting. But this week's, the last episode, they are saying, had some information about co-op. Very curious. So I watched it. And the co-op details were released, and they say that you can start and end the campaign with friends. They've made a huge push they've been really talking a lot about the mechanic of consequences and choices in this game. And we're not new to that kind of thing in video games, but they're really putting a heavy thing where it's like this will have consequences later on in the game, like who you side with or what happens to you and like that kind of thing. And they said that the team will be able to vote, and eventually, and it comes down to whoever is the host will be the deciding factor. But of course, the team can vote on what decision they're going to make in that particular scene.
Oh. A little democracy.
A little democracy. I honestly, for some reason, I kind of see Tom just being like, fuck you guys. This is what we're doing. A Tomocracy. But some other details.
That's a Tomtopia.
This is Tomtopia. Some other details that I had to do a little bit of search because I'm sure they don't want this blasted. So I apologize, Techland. I love you. But this interests me, and I think it's very important. Crossplay has been in the conversation for a while, and at one point it was like even one of my Back for Blood teammates is like, no, it's gonna have crossplay. They said it's gonna have crossplay, and it will, but not at launch.
Okay.
It is something that they I don't remember his title or his name, so I apologize. But he said they are going to. Some dude
in the
some
grocery
guy
store
with the hair, or he might not have hair. I don't know. He said that is going to be a feature that they are going to add after launch. But an even more asterisk to no crossplay, and I was completely like, whoa, about this. PS4 players will not be able to play with PS5 players.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I was, as somebody who was on PS5, I was like, well, shoot. I'm probably going to be forced to get it on PC so I can play with my buddies. Because that's like Back for Blood we love. Unfortunately, one of my friends, he got COVID. Shout out to PJ. Love you.
Shout out to PJ.
Sorry you're not feeling great. But he got COVID and he wasn't doing well. And so I haven't been able to play for a week.
Does he listen to the show?
I don't know, but I'm going to shout him out anyway. I love him. Another part of my news that I just wanted to bring out. I'm excited about Dying Light 2, but I'm going to move on. FX is reviving Justified. This is a show. I think I've mentioned it briefly on the show in the past.
Break it down a little bit. One sentence, what the show is about.
Timothy Oliphant is a badass sheriff. The acting is amazing. It came out in 2010 and ran for 6 seasons, so it's been a while since I've watched it, but I know that I loved it. It was one of those binging shows that Bonnie and I we just binged right through it, kind of like Succession right now on HBO Max. But it will be a limited series titled Justified City Primeval with Timothy Oliphant returning as the lead character, Raylan Givens. There isn't much. I couldn't find any other information, and maybe there was, but I apologize. But like I think it introduced the world, at least to me, Walton Goggins. Him as an actor, I will watch anything that he does. He's amazing in this show. And like he was in Hateful Eight and Django Unchained. He's been in some other stuff. He was in the recent like kind of like Santa
the
movie.
Santa movie.
Yeah, what is it called?
With Mel Gibson,
Fat
right?
Man? Yeah, with Mel Gibson. I was surprisingly like that movie was good. I was like, oh, we watched it because our family was like, it's weirdly good, and we watched it and we were like, whoa, I did not expect that. It was a lot of fun. It's a fun movie, not to be taken seriously. It's about Santa played by Mel Gibson. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
So yeah, it's they are reviving it. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited. Nice. Some good news. I like good news.
How many seasons did it have?
It had 6. I think 78
okay, wow.
episodes.
And it's coming back to its original network too. So
as far as I know, yeah. It says FX is reviving. So I believe it was on FX because that was the only reason why we got FX at the time. What about you, Tom? What's your news?
Maybe I should start watching it. For me, I got a lot of news. So first off, a lot of people here on chat in live in the episode for all you audio listeners for the podcast. This is all old news at this point. Moon Knight trailer came out.
Oh,
I didn't watch it. Oscar Isaac is the titular role of Moon Knight.
I love that news.
A lot of people are excited.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it because I don't know, man. It was like happening right when I was setting up for all this stuff. I gotta eat dinner and get ready for this stuff. Like I get home from work at 6:30, so
yeah,
I was like, whatever. Also, Scott Pilgrim versus the World is going to have an anime
that's right,
adaptation. I believe for Netflix and some of the creative teams. So the original creator is going to be the executive producer for this, and I think creator of the show. And they're going to use some anime houses to do the animation and work. And I think some producers from Nickelodeon are going to work on it. So Nickelodeon and Netflix got a thing going on. So that's cool. A lot of people are pretty excited about it. Bad Reprint, if you want a reaction video, I would definitely at Corey in his DMs on all your social medias because he's the one with the keys on that. I will also say the rest of my
news. Edits it. The translation, he's the one that edits it, and does he have time to do that?
Yes. And I will say also the big thing recently in the DC news, because I'm the DC boy.
There it is. Not as much excitement behind it, but you know.
Well, okay, I'm going to be honest. So everyone listening, you know, people who are part of the Nerd On Nation, people who are part of the Discord, know that I recently went to the hospital.
This is true.
And if I start talking a lot, I actually get kind of a raspy voice. And I get like a little wheezy, and I'm feeling it right now. So it's like I have to preserve the rest of my voice for our questions.
Yeah. I get it.
That being said,
he's gonna come out of this episode like, "Hey, everybody, I'm Tom."
Guys. Hey. So Peacemaker just dropped on HBO Max, and just as you would expect it, high critical reviews, divided on the audience.
Yeah.
So I watched an episode, the pilot. Hot take. It's better than the Boba Fett first episode.
Damn!
Is it good? I don't know. Should people watch it? Sure. Do you like it? Good for you. If you hate it, don't ruin it for other people.
Just answer all of those questions like, I don't know. Did you like it? I don't know.
So that being said, James Gunn, you know, it gets to celebrate a critically praised show, and you know the fan base that's around him gets to enjoy it. But he's also been under a lot of fire recently because there's a lot of kind of old wounds and scars that come along with James Gunn's career and his collaborators.
Yeah, it does.
Who have worked with Joss Whedon, or you know, people who we're very excited for Suicide Squad. And that's the tough thing about fandoms, right? You can't be excited for one thing, as you know, Josh, without
Yep.
shitting on something else.
Yep.
And
Apparently
so,
there's this like Sith-like thinking that it has to be this or that.
yeah. And so he's been on a little bit of a run on Twitter, having to apologize for a lot of things that he liked or retweeted or whatever without reading it. And I just want to kind of remind the audiences of, if you don't know who this is, you should look them up and kind of look up, what their Twitter quote unquote canceling was like, of a Lindsay Ellis. And she learned the kind of hard lesson is when you have like a big following and a lot
Be
of
careful.
fans and a lot of people who are just going to fight and argue for you. There's no such thing as like a throwaway tweet. Like if I, Tom, woke up one day and had 100,000 followers and people would be like, Tom is this kind of think leader around nerdy culture or whatever. I can't just say like, Kevin Smith's He-Man is woke garbage, like that's just my opinion. But then people are going to start following that, which is just a
What's
weird
wrong with
thing
being woke? That like it's just like
nothing, which is
what's
stupid.
wrong with garbage?
So there's that. And then lastly, I'll round out my news by saying Joss Whedon was trending today on Martin Luther King Day, at the day of this recording, disparaging actor Ray Fisher for his behavior on the set of Justice League during the reshoots. The 90-page reshoot that Warner Brothers mandated after the death of Zack Snyder's daughter. And, I'll quote what Ray Fisher said in a tweet. Looks like Joss Whedon did get to write Endgame, but just for himself. Kind of like, it really kind of just like dug him deeper into the hole of like, and it's crazy because a lot of articles like Joss Whedon, a feminist icon. What happened? And it's like, maybe he was never a feminist icon. Like if you open the Vulture article, I think I started reading about it. It starts out with like how in like England, like a whole group of teachers came together dressed up as Buffy the Vampire Slayers and like renouncing like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Joss Whedon, the new religion. And so I'm just like, I never, ever want to hear some Snyder cultist bullshit ever fucking again. Like literally calling Joss Whedon the new face of a religion. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face.
Called like the Whedon Knights.
I don't know, and I don't give a shit because look, you can like his stuff, you can whatever, but like it's still kind of like you just have to think about it. This guy had an article released lately this year, 5-6 years, whatever later after the movies he made, everyone saw it, it was garbage. And went out to say like, oh, I'm afraid to go outside because of the things that people have evidence and accused me for. And it's like, yeah, a lot of people were trusting you. A lot of people wanted to defend you. And you kind of shat all over that. Your ex-wife said you were a walking hypocrite and cheating on her with actors on the set of Buffy. So it's like, I don't know, man. You kind of drew yourself into a big, dark, dumb hole. And you keep digging yourself deeper. And so it's like, I this is what I'm going to say. This is the worst thing to say in a very modern world. Sorry, dude. Have no idea what that's like. So the sympathy is not going to come from me. Doesn't mean everyone who watches Firefly and Buffy and Angel, all that stuff should be ruined. If you like that stuff, go enjoy that stuff. But yeah, Joss Whedon, big dum-dum today. So hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher, baby. But that's all the news I got, baby.
All right, and that means that is all the news we got. So moving to the next part of the show in which we answer questions from you, the people. And there are a number of ways to answer questions. Yeah, I mean, there are so many ways. But to ask questions, to submit questions, you can go to nerdon.tv/questions. And I have listed and gone through and try to get every single way that you can submit questions, including an email, questions@nerdon.tv, or a Google form. The best way, my favorite way, is if you join the Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. There is a channel in there that you can submit questions. And if you join the Nerdon Nation that is powered by Patreon, nerdon.tv/Patreon, not only do you get to support us in creating this content and getting to create this content more, you can join that. And you get what we call a Nerd On Nudge, where we answer your questions first. And you can ask questions like Jeremy M. asks, if you could make your own Egyptian god, what animal would they have the head of? What would be their name? And what would they be the god of?
Animal head, a name, and then what they reign over. I will go first.
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna do some looky looks.
First of all, Jeremy, great question. I think this is really fun, and I will say I would want to make the Egyptian god. Let's say it will be I don't know what to call him. Hex or Hex, H''EX. And it would be a raccoon head on a very skinny body, and that is the god of tomfoolery. Like, I think of like troublemaker, right? So I was like, okay, who's a troublemaker? Is it the fox? No, I'll use a raccoon. And so what happens, this god, you can like invoke this god to like just have bad luck happen to somebody. And I wasn't gonna do a black cat because I'm assuming there's a black cat goddess. But yeah, this god, not like trickery or anything, but just fully bad luck for people. And pretty much he's most powerful when good things are happening to people. And that's when he strikes. That's when he strikes.
They are the other foot that drops, the other shoe that drops.
The other shoe that drops. Yes, and I'm glad that some people think that I'm the god of stalling in the chat. Love Hammer.
Gosh, man. I mean, my first thought was like, because I love wolves, I was like, oh, it'd be cool if there was a guy with like a wolf head, and then be like cheesy, like Lupin or some. I don't know. And it's like the god of the night. I don't know. Mine's not as cool as the god of tomfoolery.
No, I just like how you're so defeatist about it. Like I feel like you're the guy that like you starts a game of chess and then you and I are playing and then I move. You're like, man, if you do that, then and then I'm like, dude, we haven't even played it yet. And you're like, it's like,
well, you had such a good answer that I'm just like, well,
I had a silly answer. I had an answer with a pun for my name because I'm that guy. So
I'm that guy. Yeah, something like it would be a wolf and just playing on its scientific name, like maybe like Loopin. I Lupin, and then I still think like the god of either the god of knights or the god of like. I went to bravery, but that's I don't know if that I don't. Can you have a god of bravery?
I feel like you could have gods for everything. I see Corey's in the chat, and he says Luna's head, goddess of soul stealing,
and her name would be Luna. Like it's just like you just can't. You can't. Her breath smells better, but that's about it.
Every moonrise, a soul gets stolen that night.
Yes. No. Yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with that. You have Lupin. Now we have Luna, and then I have X.
Yes. Okay. Next question.
Next question, please.
You might have to clarify this.
Oh yeah. So I put these two questions in here because I think a lot of people are really excited for Pokemon Legends Arceus coming out.
Okay.
So
because it starts with if so and Typhlosion. Typhlosion?
Typhlosion. Let me see. So this is a question from Spencer.
Hey, shout out Spencer.
Oh, okay. So this is an add-on. So do T-Dogs first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We are going to go to... We're doing it live.
Yeah, we
All
are.
right. T-Dog asks, are you going to get Pokemon Arceus Legends? If so, what starter are you going with? Oshawott, Rowlet, or Cyndaquil?
Yep, that's absolutely right.
Hey, I did the thing! I am the one that Pokemon!
I will let you look up Pokemon Legends Arceus starters so you can make a decision, but I'll make a decision right now. So, for people listening who may not know or do not care on why I'm going to take a bitter consideration for this question, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, you're going to start with 3 Pokemon as per every other Pokemon game. And
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was when you
there's
play,
a
you have. Is it like you pick one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's fire, grass, or water, and like that's a meme for most people born in the '90s of like the hardest decision we ever had to make was picking one instead of having them all. So Oshawott, Rowlet, or Cyndaquil, and I love fire types. Rowlet was one of my favorite starters. I got a shiny in Sun and Moon, but knowing that they might change the evolutions,
oh wow,
I'm a little weary because normally Cyndaquil I think was a pure fire, Rowlet was a grass and ghost as a Decidueye because it was a Decidueye tree. And then Oshawott evolves into a Samurott, which is a pure water.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they might change it to where there's going to be ghost, dark, and fairy. Or something like that. There's this rumor. There's this rumor that it's not confirmed yet. So I mean, I'll say this. If Cyndaquil, if Typhlosion gets a garbage like fire fighting dual type, I'm not a fan of firefighting. A lot of people love it. I'll stick with Decidueye because Decidueye turns into an owl that shoots arrows. And that's pretty cool. I called mine Oliver Queen or Green Arrow. Cool. So, yeah. But I'll say that. So if Typhlosion has like a bad typing, I'm not going to pick him. But normally I always pick Cyndaquil because I like the fire type. And this one's like a little cute little boy. So, cute little friend.
Okay. I'm going to decide this based on the way that I decided I did March Madness a few years back, and I did my bracket. And the way that I decided it was how well their mascot looked, how cool their mascot looked. And I'm going to decide based on coolness. And I think Owlet looks pretty dope. So,
Rowlet is pretty dope.
Rowlet looks dope. I like their style. So we're going with that. And so that means is Spencer's question a
add-on?
An add-on? If so, and Typhlosion gets a second type, what do you want it to be?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I pass to Tom.
So
Tom decides for me.
Josh, I mean, the most powerful like typing right now, there's 2 types. The most powerful typings are Steel and Fairy. Because they just don't have many natural enemies. Because most Pokemon are now dual types. It's very hard to find something that's just one type. Most Pokemon will not be more than 2 types or only 2 types. So like fire and grass, fire and water, fire and dark, fire and ghost, fire and psychic. What would I want Typhlosion to be? Fire and fairy, because fairy types are stupid powerful. They're stronger than dragon types. They're only weak to steel types and I think poison, and then that's it. And like dragons were like the number 1 Pokemon in the meta for a long time because they could learn electric moves, fire moves, ice moves, every move pretty much.
So they could be like an airbender and a waterbender together?
Pretty much.
Heck yeah.
And then before that, psychic types were really, really powerful. But
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. I would want Typhlosion to be a dark type. I like Greninja, which is a frog ninja. And since they're going very like ancient times of Pokemon, it's kind of cool to kind of like, lean into.
Is this like a prequel kind of game?
This is like, so in the games of Pokemon, you're like a boy who's just like going through the area and like just catching chickens and beating other chickens in chicken fights, right? Or dog fights, whatever you want to call them.
I'm here for it.
And then in this one is like, now you are literally discovering the Pokemon and developing the first Pokedex. So it's like, this is where it all came from. So imagine
you're discovering Chickimon.
Like, imagine Final Fantasy, right? You're playing Final Fantasy, and then like you're playing a Legends Final Fantasy game where you're discovering what materia is for the first time.
Now I want that. Tom, stop talking.
So, I would say Typhlosion. I would say, I would want him to be a dark type because I don't know. I think there'd be something cool to kind of make him like Shogun looking because Samurai is already like Samurai, and then if Decidueye is going to be like a ghost type again, then it's like of course you have like the ninja-y kind of person. But yeah,
cool. I dig it.
That's it.
I mean, that's all the like pre-selected sent in questions. Tom always handles the chat question.
I do, and we got some new chat questions today.
Sweet.
But I'm going to go ahead and start out with some that we got from last week.
Okay. Do the thing.
So let's start with 1992 Johnny Horror. Question: do any of you guys had a favorite Hot Wheels racetrack?
Oh shit. I mean, I can't remember like specifics, but I know that like I totally played with Hot Wheels. Like I had like the my things were like Legos, Hot Wheels, and Erector sets. But like we'd always do this thing like where we try to put the track like as high as we could to get the most runway.
Yeah.
And then try to like create like a ramp and just try to get it to like see how far you could see how far you could get the car. Like I don't know if Hot Wheels are still made like this, but I once cracked my head open with old Hot Wheels.
Jesus.
Because they're so heavy. They're solid. Like they're like you pick them up and you're like, wow, this has some girth. Like it's just like metal. It's just metal. They don't make toys like they used to. They used to make toy guns that like felt like guns.
Oh yeah.
Like you'd pick it up and you're like, wow, this has some weight. But yeah, like Hot Wheels. And so that the finishing that thought was like the old Hot Wheels, they had some weight, so they would fly down the track. Like, and they had good like bearings or like whatever they put the wheels on, like these little tiny metal rods or whatever.
Little
but they would, because you also had to find it so it wasn't too off balance so that they would stay on the track. You might even have to like pad the sides so it wouldn't, so it would go off the ramp with as much propulsion as you could get. And I mean, that was my favorite thing to do with Hot Wheels. I don't remember like a specific like set or anything like that.
Yeah, I think I used to just like flick them as far as I can go. But if I had a favorite set, I remember it was one of the first ones that had like the like automated like spinner.
Oh, yeah.
And so it would just go and go and go and go, and you would just watch it. And it only had like one loop, and that was it. Like I didn't grow up in a household where like at an early age in life, at least, I wasn't able to get, have all the toys that were out on the market. I remember there was one year I ended up getting like half the cast of Beast Wars, which is pretty dope, or like all the Power Ranger toys.
Yeah.
But like as an early young kid, that's kind of like when I was playing
Power Loop.
Yeah,
that
was the one I had. And since that was the only one I had, that was the only one I could say was my favorite. But I will say it's because my dad was like, I don't want you to play with these small ones. And then he got me into RC cars. And then I started playing with like RC
cars. Yes.
RC for everyone who's younger and may not know, or just may not know because you never had them. Remote control cars. And I remember going to like
they
a
were so hot.
Yeah.
Like in the 90s. Like I had there was one that was like, if you could get this one, you were like the dopest kid on the block. And I
Oh.
forget because it was actually powerful. Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't because I remember also gas powered ones. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had some kids around the that started making gas powered ones, and those were ridiculous. They could just like it
Go
was
on
stupid.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the
Oh
one I
man.
had was I had the Val Kilmer Batman Forever Batmobile.
Oh my
And
god.
it would light up blue,
That's
and I was like,
awesome.
that was my favorite one. So like obviously Batman was in my life for a lot, but Power Loop will be my answer.
And then
Next question.
crisscross
Oh.
crash. Crisscross
Oh
crash was the one
yeah, they
that
would
like
hit. Yeah, they would
yeah, and like
crash.
and you'd see how long you could go
Go
without
until they
crashing. But when you
yeah
did, especially those metal ones, they would just like oof,
obliterate.
obliterate each other.
Next question.
Yes, sir.
All right. Black Diablo Mamba. This one also comes from last week or a week before. Question: what is the one thing that you have absolutely no use or significance of, but you just can't seem to let go or get rid of?
Oh man, I
Doubt,
totally have
self-doubt.
self-doubt.
uh
Yeah, you're right. That's like
uh
the answer.
my no worth complex. Um absolutely
Hell
no.
yeah. I know the feel.
No, you're just gonna we can't seem to get rid of. Let's try to find a physical item that I might have.
Me, I know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I know for sure. I the cameras that you can't see it, but it's off camera. I have a rack of audio cables. And like I can for sure go through that rack and find I could probably almost empty that rack if I threw away what was not useful. Like I have absolutely no use, but it's like this audio engineer viewpoint of like, but what if I need it someday? And then I won't have to buy it because cables are stupid. Like good cables are like silly expensive sometimes, and like they're just like silly cables.
Um,
But I might need them.
I have, I have so much now that you're bringing it up. Like, yeah, I have my first camcorder, ever.
Yeah,
It's I guess, but it's significant because of sentimental reasons, I guess. But
yeah.
I have I have an unopened GoPro Hero 2, and I have it only because my friend gave it to me.
Unopened.
It's unopened. I already had a
They're on
GoPro.
GoPro 8 now.
Yeah, I had a GoPro
Like,
Hero 3 when he gave it to me. I was like, I'll use it. Never used it. Never. And I'm just like, I don't know why I won't throw it away. It's
yeah,
like I should just throw it away, but or like I don't know. Part of me is going kind of like I'll sell it or something like that. I'm selling it for like
yeah.
$1, but like I like that's
Bonnie,
the yeah.
I was just gonna say, Bonnie. Like, I have this like, I don't know. It's like a really intense Marie Kondo. Like, I have a hard time with clutter, and I have a
Mhm.
hard time of like. I grew up in a household where like hoarding might be considered in the conversation, and so ever since then, I'm just like, I don't know. It's this weird like thing that I'll ask Bonnie. Like Bonnie makes fun of me because I'll be like, "Hey, when was the last time we used this?" I don't know, like a year ago. Cool, we're goodwilling it or throwing it away. Like it's just like, and so it's funny with the cables. Like I hoard cables. What is that
Yeah,
about?
yeah, you never know, man. Okay, so Mamba's getting mad at me in the chat saying that I'm doing the
Oh yeah.
opposite because of no significance. It has to have no significance. I just can't let go of. No significance. That's there is nothing. I wouldn't have it anymore. Even stuff from like exes or stuff from like friends that I no longer talk to. I think about that stuff and I'm like, oh man,
I have
like
files in my download folder that usually are just like, okay, they're done.
what do I think maybe expired debit card.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe, but that's just because I'm lazy.
You can't take a pair of scissors and like shred it up?
Yeah, well, it's like, but I just can't let go. Why can't I let go of it? There has to be a reason. If I
Did you
can't
go
let
on a
go,
date with that debit card and it's just like you need to like hold on to it? Like what's up, bud? What's
I
up,
don't
bud?
know. I don't know, man. Like everything has significance. I wouldn't keep it if it didn't have significance to me.
Oh, Ethan, old textbooks. Yeah, I have a shelf full of old Pro Tools textbooks that are out of date. Like that was for Pro Tools 9 and then Pro Tools 10. They're on Pro Tools 2021 because they started going by years.
Smart.
They're so beyond like what that was. Like, but every now and then I open it and I'm like, oh hey. Oh hey. Mama says they will accept old debit card.
Yeah, okay, so we'll move on. So the next question, let's go with Thomas Solario asked the question. What are some of your favorite quotes / lessons from media?
Do books count?
Yes.
Okay. Well, shit, I gotta.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. It always gets worse before it gets better. Why do we fall, Bruce? So we learn to pick ourselves up. Life is hard, but you do that stuff. What else is there, man? Kung Fu Panda. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today, is that's why they call today a gift because it's the present.
Mhm.
What else is there? Unless Josh, you have some. Just tell me to
I've gotta
stop.
look. Yeah,
Just
no, I've gotta
yeah.
look.
I'm gonna
I
keep
mean, one of my
rattling off.
favorite quotes, like of all time, is the belief in limitation is the one and only cause for limitation, and it's from I think it's Thoreau, but it might be somebody else. Because it was at one point it was said that Thoreau said it, but I think he hasn't. He didn't. I don't know. But that was a book. Do or do not, there is no try. That's like legitimately like a solid, strong quote that I'm like, you're right. You're right, Yoda. There is no try. There is do or do not.
It's Pokemon the first movie. It is not the origins of our life that matters, but what we do with the gift of life that truly
Yeah.
matters, defines who we are. It's not who I am underneath. What do I do that defines me?
Yeah.
With great power comes with great power comes great responsibility.
I always like a Big Lebowski. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man. That's
live today, fight tomorrow. In one of I think what else is there? There's so many good things. So many good ones.
the thing is like I like quotes a lot. I used to like
same.
I think when I first started my MySpace, I would post a quote because I've read a lot of books. If I'm honest, I've read a lot of books, and a lot of them are either self-empowerment, self-help. Some of them are spiritual. Some of them and then also a lot of fiction. And so it's like if I read something, I'd highlight it and then post it on my MySpace.
Yeah.
And there are some that I
same.
Yeah. In fact, I probably like even my Facebook when I first started it, I started doing that, and I'm sure I'm gonna go to my memories right now. You continue, but I think I saw something.
What else ones could I prattle off? I mean, Forbidden Kingdom. There's a kid who's like worried and talking to Jet Li's character, and it's like, what do I do when I fight the Jade Emperor? Like, what if I don't know what to do? What if I choke? And he says, don't forget to breathe. And it's just like, oh, it's what else do I got? It's no one cares about the man in the box, but only the one who comes out of it, which is The Prestige. You're not really looking for the trick because you want to be fooled.
I mean, let's be real, that's probably enough.
Yeah. We have a lot.
But now I'm like obsessed, and I there's this one quote that I am always like, it's on my Facebook profile somewhere, but anyway, what did you say?
No, I mean, I feel like there's so much. Oh,
Oh my gosh,
refuse to.
Ethan Iroh quotes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, Iroh, which is his. I don't. I There's some where he's just like. I just think of the Zuko. It's like I wasn't worried. Uh, I wasn't mad at you for what you did. I was sad because I was worried that you had lost your way. Like things like that. What?
That's rough, buddy. I just always
Right man in the wrong place can make a world of difference. Ooh, so good. Um, I don't know where this came from, but one of us had to accept the agony, and he was always the stronger. Refuse to accept only that which comforts you, for that is moral cowardice. Um,
I mean the old adage, it's which wolf wins, the one you feed. I mean, that's been used in a number of things, but it is actually something that I'll reflect on every now and then, of like when I'm angry or sad, or like, you're juggling the ideas of even some sort of semblance of happiness or optimism, where it's like, which one's going to win here? It's the one that I feed.
I'm gonna keep that one question, and maybe we
Okay.
do an episode on that.
Whoa.
Maybe we do like a
Like
Patreon
quotes.
episode on that.
Oh, okay. I'm
You know what I'm
down.
saying? You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah, I'm
saying?
totally
Good
down.
job, Thomas the Real. Okay, we'll probably do 2 more questions and we'll be done.
I think actually just based on the time, it'd be one more question, unless it's
Okay.
fast.
All right. Let's do one from Bad Reprint from today. Question: which fictional currency would you most like to see in the real world? Example can be rupees, caps, coins from fictional places.
Oh, I mean, you know me, Gil
Mm-hmm.
from Final Fantasy.
Fictional currency. Souls. From Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
have
that totally
souls.
tracks.
Yeah. It's like, all right, here you go. And
I mean, that was pretty quick. You want to do the next question?
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go with ooh, no. Nope.
Because you have to weigh whether we can just answer this question, or we need to wait for the third.
Yeah, one
Our
question
buddy Corey.
was really deep from Mom, but I was like, I can't answer that question in good faith. Let's do. This is a nice one from Zell Namor. We haven't seen you in chat in a while, but this is a lovely question. I think it's a lovely way to end the episode.
Ooh,
Question:
I dig it.
how are you doing today?
Aw.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay. I mean, we started this stream off like Tom asked me this pretty much exact question, and like I'll use the same answer. It's a little bit of a balance. I had something really cool happen today, and something that not so cool. One of my favorite authors, Gary John Bishop, he wrote a book called "Unfuck Yourself." That is the title, and it changed my life. It gave me some huge perspectives on life. And I shared about it on social media, and he shared it, and people have been coming in and expressing their thoughts about the book and how it changed them. And his community manager contacted me and said, would you like a free copy of his new book coming out? And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. And he said, okay, HarperCollins will send it over. And then I'll say the same thing. I'm repeating myself, but it's fine. I would love it if people would send some good energy towards my dog Cleo. Keep her in your thoughts, whatever you believe. She developed a urinary tract infection and some bladder stones that she's been on a special diet and medication, and it didn't go away. It got worse, and the next step is surgery. So we are super worried because she's a Chihuahua. She's small. And yeah, Cleo is, we call her Weasel. That's just, if you saw her, if you knew her, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's totally a weasel. We love her, but yeah, just keep her in your thoughts. She's a sweet little pup. How are you, Tom?
Well, trying to do better. That's all I'm going to say is trying to do better. If you were watching this on Twitch, you could see like a red mark on my face. And literally,
are the reactions starting?
Well, it's so I have a lot of issues in my life and in my body, and I'm trying to do everything in my power to remedy, to work through it all. 2021 at the end of the year was not particularly
It
I
was
could
trying, one
you could
could
say it
say.
was kind because it was like, here's this lesson for you. And it dropped like a 5 million ton anvil on my body.
Oof. Here's
But
this lesson, you just gotta catch it.
yeah, but it's kind of like Baron Harkonnen from Dune. When is a gift not a gift? You know?
Oof.
And
Is
so
that even a choice?
yeah, and that's the
It's
thing
the
where it's like
Matrix.
the best way I can think about it's like I have to accept this as a gift of something of like I have to take this in importance. So I'm doing a lot for myself trying to figure out what in my life are my setbacks and stuff like that and really try to relieve a lot of stress and to the point where I brought up my face and there's a red mark. People might be wondering like, why does that even matter? My skin is so sensitive at this point because of all my underlying issues that even if I like lightly touch my face or lightly scratch my face, there will be like a scratch mark on my face. And
Wow.
even like when I touch my hair or my head, it'll just look like I have hives and there will be like marks on my neck or on my body. It kind of really sucks because sometimes even like if I'm near hot objects, my
Yeah.
body will react to it and I'll get really hot and I'll feel like I have a sunburn.
Well, yeah, and
So
you are not you're not a stranger to working out, so I can't imagine the how it might active because you're touching your body, you're doing things, you're activating your body, and like it happens. You know, you're
yeah,
gonna touch your face by like your touch against something, and it's gonna act like right. I mean, is that the experience? I'm just imagining. So
this is how I can explain it the worst way possible and the way that's most commonly happening to me. If I put gloves on and I pick up like I don't know a 2x4 because I do for work, I will get itchy palms and my hands will start burning and they'll feel like earlier when we did a clap sync, my
yeah,
hands were like red and hurting for like maybe 5-10 minutes.
wow.
That's like
Maybe we'll
how.
just do a press sync from now
Well,
on.
I mean, we can find something else to do. I'll figure it out. But
Yeah,
like, it's kind of, it's really tough because it's kind of like this vicious cycle of like, I have to be careful with my body, which is causing me to create more stress, which is causing worse problems for my body.
oh yeah, the catch 22.
So I'm just having to try to take care of myself a lot more and try to listen and acknowledge what's going on in my life a little bit more than my normal bullheadedness of just going through everything in life. And that also means with my dieting and what I do physically. I haven't gone to the gym because it's not safe right now for
Yeah,
with Omicron so infectious at this point. And so I'm just not willing to I was going to the gym when like Delta was kind of calming down and everyone got vaccinated and boosted, but now it's the point where 1 in 5 people in Los Angeles legit have it. And like I keep
yeah.
just hearing more and more people keep catching it. I don't want to lose any more time from work. I don't want to get anyone sick. So I just want to be safe and take care of myself and just try to figure out my life. So how am I doing today? Trying to do better.
I love it, Tom. I love you, Tom.
Thanks.
That's it. That's the update. Everybody at home, thank you so much for watching. If you are on YouTube, if you are listening, we are everywhere podcasts can be heard. So wherever you are, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever you are, thanks for listening. Subscribe, rate and review, share us with your friends and family. All that kind of stuff really does help. I say it every single time, and I'm just going to continue saying it because it is actually that important. It deserves a space in our housekeeping every single time. Do consider joining the Nerd On Nation. That is also important. It is the way that we have been able to keep going and keep doing what we are doing tonight. All of our episodes, there are hundreds of episodes on our website. And we've been able to do that. Hundreds! There are dozens of us. Dozens!
Dozens.
Hundreds. Dozens and dozens and dozens. Anyway, over 400 episodes are on our website. And that doesn't even include the Capeless Crusaders, which is over there too. So that's over like 600 episodes. So there's a lot of content. Go to our website. I bring that up because that has all the information, but it also has our entire catalog where some podcast catchers do not take the whole feed. They have a limit. So that's why I bring that up. Yeah, I think that's it. Stop by on our streams on Mondays on Twitch, nerdon.tv/Twitch. We start at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're here throughout the week sporadically. I was on last night playing some Deep Rock Galactic. I think that's what it's called. Mamba joined us. That was a lot of fun. And
Nice.
Toasty from the chat. So yeah, that's it. That is actually it. You know the drill. As always,
Nerd
nerd on.
on.